Welcome to the Great Forward Movement. Here we journey deeper into the conscious shift from the lower vibration third dimension to the higher fourth and fifth dimensions of vibration. Please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and share these videos. And don't forget to visit our website at www.thegreatforwardmovement.com. Our goal is to build an army of 200 million lightworkers. With enough lightworkers, we can eliminate the dark energies that plague this beautiful planet once and for all. Please consider joining us in the eternal battle between the dark and the light. Episode 9: Overcoming Fear and Ego in the Fifth Dimension. In the journey towards spiritual awakening and ascension to the fifth dimension, we inevitably encounter two significant obstacles: fear and ego. These forces keep us anchored to lower dimensions, preventing us from fully embracing the boundless freedom, love, and oneness that define higher dimensional consciousness. While fear and ego serve a purpose in our survival and identity in the third dimension, their overemphasis can block our growth toward the fifth dimensional state of unity with the universal mind. In this episode, we will explore how fear and ego operate, why transcending them is vital for higher spiritual growth, and how to release fear-based thinking to experience the true essence of the fifth dimension. We will also engage in a guided reflection on identifying and releasing ego-driven fears, empowering us to embrace a state of unconditional love and universal oneness. How fear and ego anchor us to lower dimensions. Fear and ego are deeply intertwined with the human experience, especially in the third dimension, where duality, separation, and survival dominate our perceptions. Fear in particular stems from our need to protect ourselves from perceived threats. It is a survival mechanism ingrained in us since ancient times, and it served our ancestors well when physical danger was a constant reality. However, in our current journey towards spiritual evolution, fear becomes an anchor that prevents us from moving beyond the third dimension's limitations. The ego, on the other hand, is our sense of self. It helps us navigate the physical world by giving us a personal identity, who we think we are based on our experiences, roles, relationships, and beliefs. The ego allows us to function in society, build relationships, and pursue goals. But the ego also tends to cling to external validation, status, and control, reinforcing the illusion of separation from others. In the lower dimensions, the ego thrives on competition, comparison, and fear of losing its identity. Both fear and ego are rooted in a perception of scarcity, separation, and control. Fear drives us to protect what we believe is scarce, whether it be resources, love, or safety. The ego reinforces this scarcity mindset by seeking constant affirmation, often at the expense of others. Together, fear and ego keep us locked in lower vibrations, where we are unable to access the higher frequencies of unconditional love, unity, and freedom that characterize the fifth dimension. In the third dimension, fear and ego are necessary for survival, but as we ascend into the fourth and fifth dimensions, they become impediments. They prevent us from fully experiencing the higher realities of existence, where there is no need for competition, separation, or control, only harmony and unity. Understanding that ego is not bad, but must be transcended for higher growth. One of the common misconceptions in spiritual discourse is that the ego is inherently bad and should be eliminated. However, the ego is not an enemy. It is a natural part of our human experience and serves as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms. The ego gives us a sense of individuality, and without it, we would struggle to navigate the physical world or achieve personal growth. It helps us define who we are in relation to others and motivates us to take action. The key to spiritual growth lies not in eradicating the ego, but in transcending it. In lower dimensions, the ego is the driving force behind much of our thinking and behavior. It seeks external validation and clings to the illusion of separation. In higher dimensions, however, the ego's influence fades, and we become more attuned to our true nature as spiritual beings interconnected with all of creation. The goal, then, is to integrate the ego in a way that allows us to maintain a healthy sense of individuality while also recognizing our oneness with the universe. Transcending the ego means shifting from a self-centered perspective to a universal perspective. It involves moving beyond the ego's fears and desires, allowing us to embrace love, compassion, and unity as our guiding principles. This shift is essential for entering the fifth dimension, where the ego's need for control and validation dissolves in the presence of higher consciousness. In the fifth dimension, we no longer see ourselves as separate from others or from the divine source. The ego becomes a tool for self-expression rather than a barrier to spiritual growth. We learn to use our individual gifts and talents for the collective good rather than for personal gain. By transcending the ego, we open ourselves to the full potential of the fifth dimension, where we can experience life from a place of love, freedom, and interconnectedness. How to release fear-based thinking to experience the full freedom of the fifth dimension. Releasing fear-based thinking is a crucial step toward ascending into the fifth dimension. Fear, in its many forms, fear of failure, rejection, loss, and even success, creates mental and emotional blockages that prevent us from experiencing the higher frequencies of unconditional love and peace. To fully experience the freedom of the fifth dimension, we must learn to release these fears and embrace a mindset of trust, surrender, and acceptance. One way to begin releasing fear is by recognizing its origins. Fear often arises from a false sense of separation, from others, from the divine, and even from our true selves. When we believe we are separate, we feel vulnerable and seek to protect ourselves. This protection can manifest as defensiveness, control, or avoidance. However, the more we cling to fear, the more we reinforce the illusion of separation, which keeps us bound to lower dimensions. To release fear, we must practice trust and surrender. Trust that we are always supported by the universe and that everything we experience is for our highest good. Surrender to the flow of life, knowing that we do not need to control every outcome. The more we trust and surrender, the more we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities of the fifth dimension. Another powerful tool for releasing fear-based thinking is mindfulness. By staying present in the moment, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming attached to them. This detachment allows us to recognize fear when it arises and choose not to react to it. Instead of allowing fear to dictate our actions, we can respond with love, compassion, and understanding. Affirmations and visualization are also effective in releasing fear. Affirmations such as, "I am safe, I am supported by the universe, and I trust in the divine plan" can help reprogram the subconscious mind to release fear and embrace love. Visualization techniques, where we imagine ourselves surrounded by light and love, can also help us release fear and raise our vibration to align with the fifth dimension. Guided reflection on identifying and releasing ego-driven fears. To assist in identifying and releasing ego-driven fears, let's engage in a guided reflection. Find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably and relax. Begin by closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Inhale deeply, allowing your body to relax with each breath. Exhale slowly, releasing any tension or worries. Bring your awareness to your heart center. Feel the warmth and love in your heart. Imagine a radiant light glowing from within your heart, expanding outward to surround your entire being. Now ask yourself, what fears are holding me back from fully embracing my spiritual growth? Allow any thoughts, emotions, or memories to arise. Don't judge them. Simply observe them as they come. Ask yourself, what part of my ego is attached to these fears? Notice if there are any feelings of needing control, validation, or protection. How does your ego contribute to these fears? Visualize yourself gently releasing these fears. Imagine them dissolving into the radiant light that surrounds you. As they dissolve, feel a sense of freedom and lightness wash over you. Affirm to yourself, "I release these fears and embrace love, trust, and surrender." Repeat this affirmation several times, allowing its meaning to sink deeply into your consciousness. Take a moment to sit in silence, feeling the peace and freedom that comes with releasing fear. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes. This reflection is a powerful tool for uncovering the ego-driven fears that may be holding you back from experiencing the full freedom of the fifth dimension. By identifying and releasing these fears, you free yourself to ascend into higher states of consciousness where love, unity, and peace reign supreme. Conclusion. Overcoming fear and ego is essential for ascension into the fifth dimension, where we experience a profound sense of oneness with the universe. Fear and ego serve us in the lower dimensions by helping us navigate the physical world, but as we ascend, they become limitations that must be transcended. By understanding the role of the ego, releasing fear-based thinking, and engaging in practices that promote trust, surrender, and love, we can unlock the full potential of the fifth dimension and live in alignment with our highest selves.